Most of you already know me, Cynthia Golomb, and my boutique, Dermatology Boutique. About 2 years ago, I went to the Aesthetic and Anti-Aging Conference in Monte Carlo. At that event, I was involved in a symposium where RHA was being used. It was so impressive that I actually tried it on myself that day. I couldn't believe it. It was so smooth and it filled the fine lines like nothing I've ever seen. I couldn't wait for it to come to the States. So believe me, I was watching for it to come every month, and finally it's here. So this is a Swiss-made product, actually developed by a scientist, a woman who was involved or a co-founder of a product that is here in the United States. She decided to branch off on her own and develop a filler that moved dynamically with facial movements. So you won't get ping pong balls like we see sometimes. This filler is amazing. It moves with you. It gives a balanced, elegant, and natural look. We have 3 formulations of the RHA available here in the United States. There's the 2, the 3, and the 4. The 4 is more robust for volume, for the cheeks or the jawline. I have not found anything better than RH3 for the nasolabial folds and for the marionettes. It's the best product I ever found to raise the corners of the mouth, and hopefully we'll show you that today. RH2 is great for fine lines. It can be used in areas to stretch the crow's feet and enhance the look of your toxin. So the results are immediate, and they can last up to 15 months. What you do want to do is you want to make sure that you prepare for your filler appointment, and you avoid alcohol, you avoid aspirin, you avoid some vitamins that could cause bruising. But this filler is amazing, and you will be so happy. No lumps and bumps, and it's very moldable. Typically, there's no downtime. We do the best we can here at Dermatology Boutique to prevent bruising. We'll send you home with some ice and some post-care, which means you don't exercise that day. Perhaps you take it easy. You might feel a little soreness. If you're prone to infections like herpes, you would want to take your antiviral. And certainly, if you have an infection, you would want to let us know and reschedule that appointment. Anyone is a candidate. If you look in the mirror and you feel youthful, but you see lines and wrinkles that you're not happy with, you feel younger than you look, you need to come in for an evaluation. No one is too young and no one is too old. There are always ways that we can add a little something that you can look a little fresher. So Cindy, I'm going to pull down your mask, and we're just going to take a look at some of the irregularities that you have, So we see Cindy has a beautiful face. The bottom 2/3 of her face is very well balanced. Where she has some challenges are here in the temporal hollows, okay? So we have almost like a double C, where she has a little bump here, then an indentation, then a bump. This side is not as bad. She has a little bit of volume loss here. So my goal today is to try to fill the temporal hollow, stretch the skin back so that we can actually tighten up these crow's feet as well. All right, so she's already clean. She doesn't need to be prophylaxed. We're going to sit you back, and we'll leave the mask on. So we do this in COVID normal, okay? And we're just going to give her a little numbing dot. So Cindy, I'm going to give you a little numbing dot.
That's fine. I just want to look natural.
Oh, that's right. Cindy always, she doesn't want to look fake. That's the biggest thing. I always get, I don't want to look fake.
That's a terrible.
Or plastic. This is perfect. So we're going to clean your skin again, and we're going to give you a little numbing dot. This is my favorite entry point here. Okay. And this is my entry point. This is my needle driver. And we try to choose a place where there's no vascular structures. And I like to use cannulas. You'll feel a little pop, okay?
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't be painful. There we go. And I'll give you a little filler. Just fine, thin threads. Now I chose RH2 because she has really thin skin. And we're going to go up here very slowly because she might feel a little bit of a pulling sensation, and just fine, thin threads of filler. How you doing?
I feel nothing.
Really?
You have the most amazing, gentle hands.
And I really like this technique with the cannula because it is super safe. And I can get right under the dermis and put fine, thin threads of filler. And I can even go back here to the hairline. I feel for the artery there that we don't want to disturb it. And this will give her a nice lift. You okay, darling?
I'm fine, thank you.
Very fine. You're still good, right?
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Now, we're just going to mold the product, and we see how nicely that it blends right into the tissue. And let me take a look at you. Okay, I see different. So now I'm going to go just right here to this temporal crest. We're going to go back in to my same entry point. Do you have any discomfort?
No, I do not. Thank you for that.
Mm-hmm. And we can go all the way back here to the hairline. Okay, and then we'll just blend this in. Now what I tell my patients with this technique is sometimes because of the inflammation, we see the veins that become more prominent, and that can last for 3 to 4 days, okay?
Okay.
All right. So we're going to just massage that in, clean your skin, and let's take a look and see if we help to create that C curve a little bit better, okay? So we're going to sit you up, okay? And just with a little bit of product, not even an entire CC, I think we just have to put a little bit more at the top. I'll go back and do that, and we'll see that we can make this a nice and a balanced look for her face. And that's what she was missing. This is Dave. Dave is really fit. He exercises every day. He's really strong and he looks great. But he looks in the mirror and he feels like he should look better because he feels super. He skis all over the world. He skied in Japan, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Skied in Zermatt. I skied with him in Zermatt.
Vail,
Where else did you ski?
Vail and
Everywhere.
South America.
Bariloche.
New Zealand, Bariloche.
So, you know, he wants to look better. So we don't want to make him look like a woman. He has a wonderful masculine jawline. Where are his problem areas? Sometimes men lose fat here in the mid-face. We certainly don't want to give him cheekbones and feminize his feature. But what he may benefit from is that his ligament is just getting a little lax from time. And if we just follow the ligament a little bit, we can probably pull up that cheek pad. But more importantly, this is his problem area. So we want to try to fill his jawline. We want to try to fill his mandible and maybe give him some support at the jawline. Okay? Are you ready, Dave?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So let's start. Where are we going to start? This cheek is worse. Okay, but I'll still work on this side. Okay. Okay. So Dave, I'm going to give you a little numbing dot, okay? I like to use numbing dots for my entry point, and I love cannulas. I'm a cannula girl. Sometimes I use needles, but I prefer the cannula because it's less bruising, and with one entry point I could get to many locations. So we're going to give Dave a little numbing dot right here. You all right, Dave? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's good. Whoop. Okay. Everything we do is carefully planned, right? Okay, we'll make a little entry point. You weren't supposed to feel that, Dave. If you did, I could have waited an extra minute. Okay, no bleeding. And again, we're using RH4 because Dave needs some volume. Okay, so we're going to start first in the cheek area. And we feel that pop when I'm into the cheek fat pads. And we're just going to try to lift his ligament, and we'll go very slowly so as not to cause any zingers. We don't want any zingers. And sometimes I pinch the skin to get to the place where I want to be. Good, Dave. Good job. Okay? And we'll just give him a little bolus of RH4. Okay, good. Okay, now I could use the same entry point and turn my cannula around. Okay, and we're going to go right here to the lip, the corner of the mouth. So sometimes this feels a little funny. This is an area that can be very sensitive. So you see where I am with my cannula, and we're just going to lift the corner of his mouth. And again, this is my favorite filler for this area because it doesn't get lumpy. Sometimes you see a big C here around the corner of the mouth after fillers. This product will not do that. How you doing, Dave?
Good.
It feels funny, but it doesn't hurt, right?
No, it don't,
It doesn't, and I could feel the exact plane I want to be in. And we'll just give them little fine threads of product, okay? And we want to pick that up. Now I will use a needle to get to that corner. You okay, Dave? All right. Think about those skiing.
Yeah.
See, I remember once Dave took me down a very steep hill in Zermatt. And I was like, Dave, what are you doing to me? And you know how it is.
I remember that.
Yeah, he remembers it all right. I remember it too. I remember it too. So now I'm getting back to Dave now. Okay, so here we go here, and we're going to pick the corner of your mouth up with this wonderful product. But Zermatt had the best places for the après ski. We had such a good time. Those were the days, right?
Yes.
And you see, just putting a little bit of product here gives him some support and picks the corner of his mouth up. Sorry, Dave. Okay, you're good. Okay, we're just going to massage that, and let's see if we made a difference on this side of the mouth. Beautiful. Oh, actually, let me put a little drop in his jawline here before we show. Okay, Dave, we're going to just put a little corner. So right here, I did mark his jawline, but when he lays down or lies down, the skin moves, so we don't see the point exactly the same, but I'm going to go right on top of the bone here to give him some support and pick up that skin. So it's just a little bit of a pinch, and we could put quite a bit of product there. There we are. Right there is where I want to be. And we'll just make a nice snow cone of product to help pick that jawline up. All right, beautiful. All right, Dave, let's sit you up and see if we made a difference. That was 1 cc of filler.
Is it fuller, Ted?
Okay, let's see, Dave. Chin down. Okay, and we can see a nice improvement on this side compared to here. We picked up his cheek a little bit by strengthening the ligament. Today we have Victoria. Victoria is a millennial. So Victoria asked me if she was too young to start. And I told her she was actually late. Okay, so we want to start early as soon as we see the signs of volume loss. And here we see a little bit of volume loss here. Here, under her eyes are not bad. She has really good cheeks. She has a good lateral cheekbone, but she's already starting to lose some of the mid-facial fat where her skin is almost directly on the bone. Today, with Victoria, we're going to do something very simple. My favorite product for the nasolabial folds is RH3, and you're going to see it. All right, so here we go. We're going to sit you back and get you ready, and I'll use a cannula. Do you have any questions?
No.
Oh, one more thing I want to ask you. Sit up for me again. So a question I always get too, when do we put it in the cheeks or when do we put it in the folds? So when you look at yourself in the mirror, we're going to grab a mirror, okay? And you're going to smile for me. And you're going to relax. So how do you like your face better? When you're smiling or when you're at rest?
At rest.
Okay, so 20% of people like their face better when they're at rest. Those are the people you go for the folds. Okay? She's one of them. Okay, here we go.
She's clean.
She's clean. She's all clean. She's ready to go. Okay. I'm going to put the table down just a tad, and this is going to be easy peasy. I'm going to give you a little numbing dot, okay? I'll be very gentle.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's a little pinch. 1, 2, 3, pinch. I go nice and slow. And you're good, right?
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't feel it. If you do, I apologize, but that's why I do the numbing dot. You're good? Mm-hmm. Okay. I didn't introduce Joe to everybody, but Joe is my wonderful, beautiful assistant. I say we're yin and yang. When she has a bad day, I have a good day. When I have a good day, she has a bad day. So we have to have each other's back. But when we both have bad days, it is not good here. Right? But we always seem to have fun. Yes, very rare. Just when the full moon comes. Okay?
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So we're not going to put too much, tiny little threads, because you're young and this is going to fill right up. It's going to be amazing. You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
Love that.
Mm-hmm. And I hardly used any product like 0.3 cc's, and we're going to sit you up and see that difference that that little bit of product make. That's why I love this product. You should be able to say a difference. Do you see it? Okay. Maybe I have to put a little bit more there in the top. We're going to go back there one more time.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. We're going to go back there with that. Well, I think we're good like that. I could see a little bit better. So I keep my finger. It doesn't hurt, right? It just feels funny. And this is RH3, my favorite for the folds. There we go. Beautiful. Perfect. Let's see you smile now. Beautiful. And as you see, you don't get the bunching like you do in other fillers. We're going to go ahead and do the other side. That's it.